Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good evening, everyone. Hi, this is Muhammad Imran Hussain, your science teacher. Today, I am going to teach you unit number 3, solid, liquids, and gases. Already in previous classes, we discussed about solids, liquids, and gases. And today, in this lesson, we are going to discuss about melting, freezing, and boiling. Lesson number 3.4. So, boys, kindly open your learner's book, page number 44 and 45. Today's date, 17th of January 2021, day is Sunday. Now, look at on the screen, learning objective of this lesson. Know the matter can be solid, liquid, or gas. Make relevant observation and comparison. So, boys, now I am going to share with you your learner's book. Look at on the screen, melting, freezing, and boiling. You can see a little girl on the screen and in your note textbook also. Her name is Sabera ice cream, started as a frozen solid. So today we are going to discuss about frozen solid. Okay, when the sun heated the ice cream, when the sun heated ice cream, it changed to a liquid. This change from solid to liquid is called melting. What is melting? This change, what frozen ice cream. If you put a ice cream in front of the sun, like a heated place, okay, if you heat ice cream, it's start melting. That melting is what the solid change to liquid is called melting. We can show melting is in this way. Solid, if you heat a solid material like ice cream or ice cubes, okay, if you heat ice cubes, that ice cubes start to melt, and that the solid become to a liquid. Now let me see freezing. Freezing, what freezing? Freezing is opposite of melting. Freezing is opposite of melting. Freezing is when something change from a liquid to a solid. Okay, boys? And in our last classes, we discussed water exists in three different phases. Water exists in three different phases, like solid, ice is solid. If ice start melt, that ice change to a liquid. And if you boil or if you vapor water, that water change to a gas. Okay, boys? And now look at here, look at on the screen, activity 3.41, sorry, 3.48. What happens to ice when it is heated? If you heat ice, it start melting, right, boys? Put the ice cubes into the pot, heat the pot on the hot plate. Predicate what you think will happen to the ice. Is ice start to melt? What does happen to the ice? This is the phase change the ice goes through when you heat it. Solid phase, ice, heat, liquid phase, water. Now heat the water until it start to boil. Now heat a water until it start to boil. Observe how the waters change. If you boil a water, is changed to gas, right, boys? And in this lesson, we learn melting when a solid is heated. When a solid is heated and it changed into a liquid. When a liquid is heated and it changed into a gas. Freezing, freezing cause when a liquid is cooled and it changed into a solid. Now I am going to play video for you. Watch this video and I hope you will understand.
Guys, in today's lesson, we're going to talk about melting, freezing, and boiling. Melting, freezing, and boiling is what happens when an object changes its state of matter. So imagine this. A little girl was eating ice cream. She then went out under the sun. The ice cream started to become a liquid. The ice cream started melting. So, melting is what happens when you heat a solid object and it becomes liquid. Now, let's imagine this other situation. A man was drinking a coffee in the North Pole. Then he went out and his coffee turned into a solid. His coffee was frozen. So, freezing is what happens when you apply a lot of cold onto a liquid object and it becomes a solid. Let's imagine again. A grandma was trying to make tea, so she started heating some water. She then forgot and saw that the water had evaporated. Boiling happens when you heat a liquid and it starts to become a gas. So, according to this, you can turn a solid into a liquid by melting it. You can turn a liquid into a solid by freezing it. And you can turn a liquid into a gas by boiling it. So we can say that water exists in three different phases on Earth. It exists as a solid when it is ice. It exists as a liquid when it is water. And it exists as a gas when it is vapor or steam. So guys, in today's lesson we learned that melting occurs when a solid is heated and it becomes a liquid. Boiling occurs when a liquid is heated and it becomes a gas. And freezing happens when an object is cooled and it becomes a solid.